Aren't you beautiful? Just the colouring of the peacocks is stunning. And when they put their tail up, it's just amazing. It is a funny old day today. The sun has been out, it's cloudy now. The wind is howling, and we were going to go into Hobart, but we sort of opted out of that because the motorbike was being blown all over the road, and we thought it wouldn't be a fun thing to go up and over that big bridge in that sort of wind. So we're just sort of having a bit of a quiet day, but we thought that we would come to the beach for a bit of a look, and it doesn't look real nice. But this is the beach that's across the road from the resort, and it looks like quite a high tide. Well, after a few scary U-turns, we found a motorbike park, and we're here along the waterfront of Hobart. It's a beautiful old sailing boat over there, and these little yellow boats are...
They're not little.
Oh, not little. They do wilderness tours, which we're going to go and ask about for Murray.
Making way into this harbour, and then there's this fantastic old boat, Mistral 2, built in 1922, being renovated. Obviously looks like it's got a bit of a leak going on because it's pumping water out, but that's okay. And there's another nice old sailing boat that's been restored. I guess they must run a lot of tours out of here. And
some of the boats are for youth programs, young people to learn how to sail and stuff.
And over there we've got a floating seafood restaurant, a floating gelato shop, another seafood, another seafood, and another seafood business, all trapped in this little harbour here. Pretty cool. Oh, there's another old clinker over there. This must be the harbour for the old boats. We decided while we're walking along here, and that gelato shop that I saw, lights are on, so why not come and have a gelato on this 12-degree day? It shouldn't melt as quick, and we get a better view of the little tiny harbour from this side. Yet another little harbour. Watercolour is quite nice today, and a slightly bigger and newer boat in this one. Another cool old sailing boat, the Lady Nelson. We seem to use this one for harbour cruises. Nice. Very nice. Oh, it's only a replica. There you go. Found a jetty, pontoon. Thought I'd come down and have a look at the other side of the boat. Oh, and there's Donnie over there having a cup of coffee that she just got. And all I got to do is make sure I'm watching where I'm going so I don't walk off the end of the jetty. That'd be a bonus.
We thought we'd come down to this end of the beach. It's a little bit away from the resort, to see if we could fly the drone here, because we're so close to the airport, and it said you need to get CASA approval, which Murray thinks that he can possibly get. I just sort of thought it might be quite nice to fly around here. And what a difference the ocean is today than what it was yesterday. Flat as a pancake today. Still cloudy, no wind. No drone flying for us.
And a couch.
And a couch. Which I don't think I'd want to be sitting on. Someone's obviously had a nice time here with a fire.
On our way to Richmond for lunch today. had a few technical issues with the microphones. We're still trying to sort that out, so we'll see how we go. But it's quite nice, this area here on the way to Richmond. You can see the bay over there. There's a couple of big satellite dishes just before that I don't know whether we got or not. And there's lots of wineries out here, including a weird looking mobile speed camera on a trailer attached to a car sitting high in the air. But I was being a very good citizen at the time. There's two that we saw in probably about 2 kilometres. Must be a very popular road for speeding. It's only listed at 80. My guess is once upon a time it was an easy 100. Here we are, Richmond. It's a pretty cool day today, 12 degrees, windy, just to bring up the chill factor. When we were here 2 years ago we had scallop pies and they were pretty darn good, so hence the reason to come back to Richmond today for lunch to see whether they still make yummy scallop pies. Got the curry pie.
How is the curry pie?
It's pretty yummy.
Pretty yummy?
But the pie is about to disintegrate.
Yeah, it looks like it's falling apart. And then for after the pie, to share a
Creamy Lamington.
creamy lamington. Yeah, and I'm just having the little quiche thing that's over there. I'm just waiting on coffees and hot chocolates to come as well.
We're in Richmond, and this is the oldest bridge in Australia, so they claim. Built in 1823, still standing, still being used daily. It's the main lot of traffic out of town and into town coming over this bridge. Once again, these people really knew how to make something good, but the bridge has stood up to the test of time. Plus I've got some really great parklands here where you can walk around.
Wow. Fantastic brickwork.
Yep.
Different to any other in the state, where all other convict sites are ruins or only
Decided I'd go and have a look through the Richmond jail, 1825.
It has been preserved and
Unbelievable.
restored, and is therefore an important part of Tasmania's colonial.
It's kept in really good nick. I didn't really use it for that long. It just turned into a watch house in 1860. That building over there was the residence of the main jailer. And this one I'm about to go into is the woman's room. Ain't too big. Maybe there wasn't too many badass women back in the good old days. This room here was their solitary room. And that's all I remember. This would be the size of the cell, I guess. It says here, that's poor old Emma Martin. Rations, bread and water. Bucket was used as a toilet. 21 days. God, they're tiny, the rooms. They're probably only 1 metre by 2.4 metres. 1825, it says up on the wall. It's the oldest jail in Australia. Into the cookhouse. They managed to find a few plates and knives and forks. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Old bread oven, probably a scale model of the jail. And just over here without the roof on, that's where the solitary cells were. And I guess now we'll slip out into the what the guy called the flogging yard.
Oh, I hit the book.
Yep, that's what the sign says. Wow. Doesn't take a genius to work out that was for. And guessing this one here was probably the latrine by the look of that. Don't think I want to look down the hole. But amazing, built in 1823 or 25 or whenever it was. And just so well made. Guess it had to be because it was a jail. Apparently the walls used to be timber, but then the prisoners kept escaping. For some places old as it is, it's still in pretty good nick. Digging for freedom. Obviously this used to be a someone thinking it was an easy way to get out. And I've been totally convinced that people were really small in the old days because I just can't get through the door. It's amazing. It's like looking at all the old miners' huts and stuff that you find out in the bush. It's the same sort of thing. You got to duck down and see what's going on. And it was even built by the convicts themselves, so they had to build their own house to get locked up in. Holy doolies, big bear trap. Must have been, for some reason, a man trap. Don't think I'd like that. Yeah. Chained to the wall. So this one here was the punishment cell. See the chains there. Having a look in now the men's solitary quarters. Yeah, no, about the same size as the women's. On the bits of paper around here it says the place was only good for 70 people, but they locked in 100.
For the work done was probably too small for its function. So initially there was the northern building with the jailers in there and the convicts. Later on, about 33, 34, they built the building behind us for the jailers' residence, for the jailers to reside in. And then a few years after that, they decided that they would actually enclose the whole thing by building wings down either side. So in those, they put barracks, punishment cells, and then a cookhouse, those sorts of things. And one of the issues with having two buildings, having timber fences around them, it wasn't very secure. One stage some convicts escaped by actually just piling their bedding up along the wall. Another point, the fence actually was blown down the gaol in 1827. And one of the issues at the beginning was that it was so crowded that the women had to actually reside with the jailers during the day. Even when they were in that area in the night time, it was said that it was actually very hard to prevent communication between the male and female convicts. And
good view out the window anyway.
Two wings were built. One wing was for the male convicts and one was for the female convicts. The building of the jails were for convicts.
Not too sure I'd like to sleep on that bed. Didn't get that from Amart, that's for sure. But up a bit higher, and a magnificent view of the surrounding area. Wouldn't have been so hard. It was probably all trees back then. A view out into the jail courtyard. It's hard to imagine what sort of life they all lived back then. But it was a part of life. And I guess everyone was used to that. The rooms are so tiny.